Alright, so grab your notes, and we're going to do just this last, like, 2 or 3 slides to finish them off. So, yesterday we did factor by grouping and difference of squares. Today we're going to do the sum or difference of cubes, which is very similar to the difference of squares. Same type of idea. So, the difference of squares we used when we had 2 terms, and one of them was an x squared, or you can make it x squared. We're doing it with cubes today. So, for the sum or difference of cubes, we use this when we have 2 terms, and we can write the exponents as 3. So yesterday's was an exponent of 2, today is 3. There's still 2 things, and yesterday it always had to be a minus, today it doesn't have to be, today it can be a plus. So I could have something to the third plus something else to the third. So we're going to look at x to the third minus 1, and we're actually just going to factor today. We're not going to do this piece. So we're just going to practice factoring. Tomorrow is when we're actually going to solve it. So we need to figure out what a and b need to equal. So I'm going to look at 8x to the third minus 1. And because it's a minus, I'm going to use this difference of cubes. I'm going to use this bottom one right there, which is a to the third minus b to the third. So what I need to do is rewrite these things kind of like I did yesterday, except this time to the power of 3. So I need to change this 8x to the third to be something in parentheses to the power of 3. And it works basically the same as yesterday. So, x to the third, I can just write as x, right? And then have a 3 on the outside of parentheses. That'll work. So I know I've got an x, and then I got to the third in there. But what about 8? How can I rewrite 8 to be something
2
to the third power? And it would be 2.
We have to do 2 parentheses?
No, I'm just showing you how to split up.
It'd be 2x though.
So, 2 squared is 4, 2 to the third is 8. So if you're not sure, you can kind of start double checking in nuts, credit, Desmos.
That's not it.
Oh, I'm a random one. So you can start picking numbers and going like, 2 to the third, and see if that gets 8. Oh, that's 8. So I know it's 2 and then 3. Exponent of 3. So I know that if I have a 2x to the third, this is going to go in for a. So 2x is going in for a, and then the 3 is outside these parentheses. For the second one, this minus 1 right here, I need to change 1 to be something in parentheses to the third. It still equals 1. What can I put in? How could I rewrite 1 to be something to the third? 1. That part's easy. 1 to the third. So 1 is my b. And just like last time, I'm going to go up here and make sure I copy it down right. So this is going to equal a minus b, and then a squared plus ab plus b squared.
That's the formula, right?
Yeah, I can't see them both, so I'm just writing it down real quick so I can see them both. I can't just look up like you guys can. Because I'm using my flip charts here, they're kind of annoying. Alright, so I have, this is going to equal a to the third minus b to the third equals a minus b, and then parentheses, a squared plus ab plus b squared. So just like last time, everywhere I see an a, I'm going to replace it with 2x. Everywhere I see a b, I'm going to replace it with 1.
Hey, what formula is it?
It is up on the top here, it's the difference of cubes. It is this one right here.
It looks different. You put a squared.
Yeah, a squared plus ab.
Oh, you didn't do it. How can you write the first part?
I did, right?
Oh, the a to the third.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like a 2.
Oh, sorry.
I thought that was a squared.
This is what's that, 3? 3, there we go. A little nicer. Alright. So everywhere I see an A, I'm replacing it with 2x. Everywhere I see a B, I'm replacing it with 1. So I'm going to go 2x minus 1 in my first parenthesis. And the second parenthesis we're going to have to work with a little bit. So I have an a squared. A is 2x, right? So I'm actually going to have a double parenthesis. So instead of a, I'm replacing it with 2x, but because it's a squared, I'm going to put it in parentheses, put the squared on the outside. And we're going to fix this here in just a minute. Then I'm going to go plus a times b is 2x times 1. And then I'm going to go plus 1 squared, which is really easy. What's 1 squared?
1.
1. That part's easy. Alright. So I've got to do a little bit more simplifying with this difference of cubes here. So all I did so far was replace a and b, a with 2x, b with 1. So my first parenthesis is nice, it's just 2x minus 1. There's nothing I can do there. Alright, but the second parenthesis is where I got to simplify. I have 2x, and then I got the squared on the outside. And you might have to think back to freshman year a little bit. If I have a parenthesis, or excuse me, if I have an exponent outside these parentheses, it's the same thing as if I had this squared inside on everything. It's like having a 2 squared and an x squared. So 2 squared is 4, right? And x squared is x squared. So this right here is really 4x squared. And then I'm going to go plus, what's 2x times 1? Just 2x, right? And then plus, we just said 1 squared is 1. Now, this is my final answer. So the difference of cubes usually is just a little bit more work than difference of squares. So this is my final answer. Taking notes? Just one.
Too aggravated to write notes right now.
Alright,
I'm just
I'll do
gonna
that.
upset.
I'll do best. Not a whole lot today, but I'll give you done some good things. Alright, we're going to do another one of these. We're going to practice one, and you guys are going to do one. I'm going to copy this real quick, though, so I have my formulas. Alright.
But what's the difference between the top one and the bottom?
So, that's a good question. So, the top one is whenever I have a plus sign between two things, I use the top one. The bottom one, whenever I have a minus sign between the two things, I do the bottom.
what?
Okay, so like this.
Yeah.
It's something plus something, right?
Okay.
I
Well,
use
what
the
about
top.
times?
I said
There,
What do you mean?
on the first one. Yeah.
Alright, so very first thing we gotta do, does it equal 0?
Nope.
No. So we gotta make it equal 0.
Oh, so then it would be a minus one.
Yeah, we got a minus 8 on both sides.
Okay.
And it'll be a minus. Alright, so for this problem, I'm gonna look at this bottom one right here. Because it's gonna be a 27 x to the third
just be 9.
minus 8 equals 0. Okay, so if it's not, make it equal 0 to start with, and then follow your steps. So I need to figure out what's A, what's B. And I'm using this bottom one because it's a minus here in the middle. Minus in the middle, that's how I want to use it. So I need to figure out how can I change 27 x to the third to equal something in parentheses to the third. So let's look at 27. Can I rewrite 27 as something to the third? Well, I don't know off the top of my head. So let's go in here to Desmos. And I'm going to start picking numbers to make to the third power. So 2 to the third is 8. That doesn't work, right? Let's try 3. Is 3 to the third? Hey, it's 27. That's what I wanted. I'm going to rewrite 27 as 3 to the third. And x to the third, it's already like that, right? I don't need to change it. So inside, because I have powers of 3 on both of these, I'm going to have a 3x. 3x is going to be my A. Okay. Next, we're going to look at 8. That's this one right here. And I'm going to say, how can I make 8 be something in parentheses to the third? And we actually kind of already did this. What can I rewrite 8 as to be something to the third? 2 to the third. So 2 to the third is 8, so I'm going to put 2 inside parentheses. So everywhere I see B, I'm going to put in 2. Okay, I found A, I found B. I'm going to use this bottom one because I have the minus in my problem, minus in my problem. And I'm going to fill in every A and B with actual numbers now. So I'm going to go parentheses instead of A. A is 3x minus B is 2. Second parenthesis. Because it's an A squared, I'm going to have a double parenthesis here. 3x squared
Or you can skip steps.
plus, well, if you do it in your head, skip it, but I'm not skipping steps, just make it consistent. Plus, let's see, A times B is 3x, totally of 3, I promise, times B is 2, plus B squared, plus sign, is 2 squared. And difference of squares is just a little bit more work. I have a 3x minus 2, and then I have to have, I gotta take care of this piece right here. If I have a 3x in parentheses and the square on the outside, the squared is gonna go with everything right here. It's gonna go with both of these. So I'm gonna have a 3 squared, which is 9. And x squared,
You can do these problems entirely in your head.
kind of. If you're good with mental math and figuring out like cubes and stuff.
Or if your brain's like about to explode.
And then we're gonna have plus, I have a 3x times 2, it's 3x times 2.
6x.
6x. And then I have plus 2 squared is 4. This is my final answer.
How do? So we do the double parentheses every time.
On these, pretty much, yes. On difference or cubes, yes. You will almost always have this. I'm not gonna guarantee it, but I'm gonna say almost always. Alright, you wanna practice one more together, or you wanna try one on your own?
Let's try it on our own.
Okay, so you're gonna do this one in the box, and remember, since it's got a plus in the middle, we are gonna use the top one.
Yeah,
not the bottom.
so it depends on what it is.
So, go through, start by figuring out what is A, what is B.
4. 4 is 4, 16, 16, 64, 64.
So remember, how can you make 64x to the 30 equals something in parentheses to the 30? And how can you make 1 equals something in parentheses to the 30? Excuse me. Yeah. I know. Not to judge me. It's not my fault I'm sick. It's all you guys. I blame you.
I haven't been sick this year.
Knock on wood.
Jinx it.
Good.
I had the flu.
Me?
Oh wait, no, that was a story you told me.
Yeah, that was the story of freshman year.
Ooh, nice. Okay. Where
What am I doing? Oh yeah.
I hate those days.
Yeah. What do we got?
Okay, what's our exit ticket gonna be? Are you gonna make up an exit ticket?
No, we'll probably use it. Alright, so we need to figure out how can I read that
You want me
64
to cross that issue?
has something to there. So, since
Oh, yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head,
X cube.
the easiest way to do it is pick numbers.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna start with 2
One
numbers.
X? Or just be X?
I'm gonna go
Wait,
2
one
and 4.
X.
And say, is that equal 64? So I'm gonna delete 2, and I'm gonna try 3. That's this one. 4. So, 64 is raised,
Right.
4 is 30.
Okay, right.
And how about this x3? Do I even need to read anything other than write x in there? Okay. How can I rewrite 1 now? Something in parentheses. Okay, so we have this is A,
What do you got?
has B.
Good in there, but yeah.
So we're going to use this formula up here because it's a plus and a plus. We're going to use this top. So everywhere we see an A, replace it with 4x. Everywhere you see a B, replace it with 1. So fill it in, then you got to go through and simplify, but I'll check it out. Just
I feel like these are too easy to do. Oh, because we haven't actually solved them yet. Huh?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to try it?
God dang it, we're doing that tomorrow. Oh.
Kind of, but it's so you're gonna say, what can I do this? How can I switch
I knew it was too good to be true.
Divided by something.
Or in Desmos, pick numbers to the third power and stop when you see it. That might be.
That's a circle.
Alright, I get it. I'll just,
Are we done?
is that all I have to do, or?
Trying to
And then
improve
we
the
gotta
circle.
go, how can I make X to be something such
I can do it
That one's a pretty good one.
like an oval.
No, you got your X.
Are you just gonna put an X in there?
What's that? Because X is at 3,
Is what?
is 3, right? Okay.
This a good one?
How can I make this one something in parentheses?
Pretty good.
Or, like, you have to do this and divide.
Or
Get
say,
them my squares.
normally, so I wanna split this one part to be something to the third, right? But still equal.
So, I was gonna say, so just do one.
Alright,
I know.
nope, because there's no X.
Wumbo.
Wumbo, wumbo.
So,
I'm gonna set it up like that.
we're gonna put it up here, and what we're doing is plus sign right there, because plus
It's
here.
not, I don't have to put any.
And that's one where you had to stay inside.
No.
Because he was like sick or something.
Plus, it was a minus.
Oh.
A,
Flipped it upside down.
correct?
Yeah.
Come on, SpongeBob. First
Wumbo.
Alright, I'll give you a little bit more time, we're gonna go over it here in a minute, or two maybe. How'd it go, Ruby? Yep. But we gotta go through and we just gotta take care of these things.
I feel like we can do the circles.
Go.
I like circles.
After, because we're taking care of the square, these middle parentheses here at the top. So we have 16.
Oh,
We
wow.
have to put the square on this X also.
It just makes me mad, because
So,
I've never even like.
it's just a
I
X.
just have to get involved. It's not our business. But now that I'm not mad, I'm just kind of upset. Sad.
And then keep going. You're gonna go minus plus 4X times 1.
Yeah, I feel that math
Going
test.
plus,
Who math
plus,
is?
The map.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
and then you gotta keep that.
I love the most blank.
For some reason, I thought Oklahoma was Virginia. And Virginia was Oklahoma.
Yeah, I was correcting.
Kind of did it together.
Huh. Canada.
Bonus point.
Thanks.
I gotta help him out a little bit.
They go when you're done.
I was gonna put Mexico down below.
Alright.
I was like,
It's looking pretty good.
I already failed. I don't care.
One?
Yes.
I finished.
Now you just gotta
Should
rewrite.
name all the provinces in Canada. Although you probably wouldn't know. What that?
Do I have to solve it or?
County, all the counties. Do the counties of one state.
Morgan.
Yeah.
I don't even think I can name that.
Yeah, but then I did the cities.
I'll try again. I'll check that in a minute. Alright, actually, I don't think I checked it.
That's all I'm doing.
There's Bandon
I
County.
just wasn't sure.
Yeah.
There's. That's out of my phone. I don't even know.
I wouldn't start reading without doing the word first. I never
No, sometimes. Alright, everybody who had finished with it, a couple people are still working, but everybody who finished got it right, so we're not going to go over it. If you're still working on it, I will help you out.
I got it wrong.
Finish it off and double check it, but I'm not really worried about that. So, for the last one, I want you to do this extra ticket. It was our original one. I will turn on some credits.
Me too.
Well, now it's right here.
I thought you guys already did this. Koki,
Now it's right there.
I'll sign this with these.
I will turn on Socrative. Do this exit ticket as a last practice problem. I will have a worksheet on Google Classroom, and that'll be it. You guys have the rest of class to work on the stuff in the past 3 lessons.
Wish I had finished.